I just wish the whole thing hadn't happened sometimes. The whole cancer thing. His speech was slowing down, the medicine working. I'm sorry, I said. Gus was here earlier. He was here when I woke up. Took off school. His head turned to the side a little. It's better, he said quietly. The pain? I asked. He nodded a little. Good, I said. And then, like the bitch I am, you were saying something about Gus? But he was gone. I went downstairs to the tiny windowless gift shop and asked the decrepit volunteer sitting on a stool behind a cash register what kind of flowers smell the strongest. They all smell the same. They get sprayed with super scent, she said. Really? Yeah, they just squirt 'em with it. I opened the cooler to her left and sniffed at a dozen roses, and then leaned over some carnations. Same smell, and lots of it. The carnations were cheaper, so I grabbed a dozen yellow ones. They cost $14. I went back into the room. His mom was there, holding his hand. She was young and really pretty. Are you a friend? She asked, which struck me as one of those unintentionally broad and unanswerable questions. Yeah, I said. I'm from support group. These are for him. She took them and placed them in her lap. Do you know Monica? She asked. I shook my head no. Well, he's sleeping, she said. Yeah, I talked to him a little before, when they were doing the bandages or whatever. I hated leaving him for that, but I had to pick up Graham at school, she said. He did okay, I told her. She nodded. I should let him sleep. She nodded again. I left. The next morning I woke up early and checked my email first thing. Lidowij.vliegenthaert@gmail.com had finally replied. Dear Miss Lancaster, I fear your faith has been misplaced, but then faith usually is. I cannot answer your questions, at least not in writing, because to write out such answers would constitute a sequel to an imperial affliction, which you might publish or otherwise share on the network that has replaced the brains of your generation. There is the telephone, but then you might record the conversation. Not that I don't trust you, of course, but I don't trust you. Alas, dear Hazel, I could never answer such questions except in person, and you are there while I am here. That noted, I must confess that the unexpected receipt of your correspondence via Miss Vliegenthaert has delighted me. What a wondrous thing to know that I made something useful to you, even if that book seems so distant from me that I feel it was written by a different man altogether. The author of that novel was so thin, so frail, so comparatively optimistic. Should you find yourself in Amsterdam, however, please do pay a visit at your leisure. I am usually home. I would even allow you a peek at my grocery lists. Yours most sincerely, Peter Van Houten, care of Lidowij Vliegenthaert. What? I shouted aloud. What is this life? Mom ran in. What's wrong? Nothing, I assured her. Still nervous, Mom knelt down to check on Philip to ensure he was condensing oxygen appropriately. I imagined sitting at a sun-drenched cafe with Peter Van Houten as he leaned across the table on his elbows, speaking in a soft voice so no one else would hear the truth of what happened to the characters I'd spent years thinking about. He'd said he couldn't tell me except in person, and then invited me to Amsterdam. I explained this to Mom, and then said, I have to go.
Please pause the recording and answer question number 6. In a moment, the recording is going to stop, and you need to continue on your own, finishing chapter 5. It is a little bit of a lengthier chapter, so make sure you are reading and staying on task and finishing tonight. And I will see you tomorrow.
Hazel, I love you, and you know I'd do anything for you, but we don't have the money for international travel and the expense of getting equipment over there. Love, it's just not... Yeah, I said, cutting her off. I realized I'd been silly even to consider it. Don't worry about it. but she looked worried. "It's really important to you, yeah?" she asked, sitting down, a hand on my calf. "It would be pretty amazing," I said, "to be the only person who knows what happens besides him." "That would be amazing," she said. "I'll talk to your father." "No, don't," I said. "Just seriously, don't spend any money on it, please. I'll think of something." It occurred to me that the reason my parents had no money was me. I'd sapped the family savings with Phalanxophore co-pays, and Mom couldn't work because she had taken on the full-time profession of hovering over me. I didn't want to put them even further into debt.
Please finish the chapter on your own